Hi, and welcome to CCDTV. This program is designed to interview local filmmakers right here in Waterloo region. I'm your host, Bruce De La Cruz. Today we're talking with Max Wentzlaff. Max, thank you for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Great, yeah. I was in school today.
Yep.
So I actually had class this morning, so I just whipped right over here right after that, and now we're here.
Perfect. Thank you for making the time.
Yeah.
Before we get into your current career, tell us how you got started in filmmaking.
Yeah, so that actually takes me back to school.
Oh yeah?
Back in middle school, I'd say, we'd always get all these types of projects where we had to do a presentation for the class or get creative on how we want to present something. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to kind of blend in with everyone else and do the same Google slides, so right. I tried to find ways to be a little bit different, and then that is where my intro into making little videos came in. And from there, classes they loved it, and I started to feel the buzz of filmmaking. And from there, I then got a YouTube channel. I started a little YouTube channel, and that really kind of motivated me and excited me for editing and all the different aspects that really kind of made it more of like a job and learned the technicalities of it. And then just from there on out, I started throughout high school, just messing around, got my first camera, played around with that, watching more videos. I had a buddy who was a musician, so I was filming him at the start, just making little music videos and stuff like that, and it just kind of got the buzz from there, and now we're here.
From that early era, when you started filmmaking, what was your favorite film that you made?
That I made? Probably, so there was one that me and my friends did. We went into the quarry out in Elora. I'm not sure if you know there, but and we did it, and it was on a very busy Saturday. I think it was the Saturday before Family Day, so super busy in the quarry, and we just decided we're just gonna go for it with everyone around. Sure enough, we drew in a big crowd. Everyone was around. There was actually a couple taking wedding photos just on the other end of the river, which is kind of funny. And it was we just went into the river and just started shooting, and everyone kind of was wondering what's going on over there. And after that, after a few takes, everyone just started clapping, and it was a good experience. We had a little live crowd there. So
for sure. Yeah. I know, like, for some filmmakers, just putting yourself out there and getting rid of that weird feeling that the eyes of the public are on you when you're filming in public, that's like the hardest thing to get past. How did you get past that point?
I think you just have to do it.
Yeah.
You just throw yourself right into the element. I kind of had to do that at the start of my career, just because that's kind of where the work took me. Right. It was really run and gun style, so we would just find a location and hope that it was good, but if not, if there's people around, you just kind of have to make do. So I think the best way to kind of overcome that is just to really put yourself into that scenario. You maybe start with little less important things just to kind of ease your way into that, but eventually you will just kind of not care what the public thinks and just do what makes the project go smooth.
Perfect. So did you go to school for filmmaking, or are you mostly self-taught?
Yeah, I'm mostly self-taught. I am in a program right now, which is more of an arts program, but it's not specifically filmmaking related. There was, I think, one course that teaches you filmmaking in it in the whole 4-year program that I'm taking. So you can kind of take it how you will, but everything that I've kind of learned has been self-taught throughout the years. I've watched YouTubers, obviously, who have helped me kind of grow my skills and stuff like that. But yeah, it's self-taught, and I think in my eyes, that's kind of the best way to learn, because you can really learn through experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are some of the cons and what are some of the pros of being self-taught in this industry?
Yeah, so I guess pros is you do that trial and error phase. You start out kind of not knowing where to start, and you just have to figure out, choose a path and go along with that. And you'll reach some challenges and some failures along the way, and that'll just show you what you did wrong and what you can do differently to progress, and that ultimately will just help you progress down the road. Some negatives, some cons is obviously that sense of direction. You kind of lack on where to start. You might not know how to figure out what some of the better, say for example, cameras or some of the better technical elements are. Not that that really matters, because cameras are cameras in my eyes. But if you were not self-taught, if you went to a program, you definitely get a little bit more direction. You get some connections, which are really important in the space that you can work together on and build off of that. And yeah, you just kind of, I think the biggest thing that a school program or just having some sort of direction given to you is
kind of like a safety net. Almost.
Exactly that, and it makes sure you actually do produce content.
Mhm.
Because if you are self-taught, you kind of always have that in the back of your mind, like, oh, I could be doing something else right now.
Right.
There's no real like motivator to get it done other than yourself. So if you if it's difficult for you to do that, a school program, I have an assignment due next week.
Yeah.
I have to film a video. It kind of pushes you to get out and filming. So that's another good thing about it.
Exactly. You mentioned that YouTube was kind of your main teacher.
Mm-hmm.
What's in your mind, what was the best YouTube channel that kind of helps with filmmaking? If there's one specific creator or just something that people should search for first, maybe.
Yeah, I would say in terms of searching for first, I somewhat started out in photography.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of Peter McKinnon
Mhm.
because he was big at the time when I was really getting into the space. So he really taught me kind of the basics, how to get creative, how to work with what you got and stuff like that. But now it comes down to there's so many different filmmakers out there. It's
almost like oversaturated.
It
at this
really
point.
is.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. So I think you can't really go wrong as long as it's helping you learn and motivating you to get out there yourself and start filming.
Perfect. So you've been self-employed. Tell us about your production company, Minty Productions.
Yeah. So I started Minty Productions back in
2019, I think.
19. Yeah. I was going to say 2019, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually right before COVID happened. So it was a very interesting time. It started out just filming music videos. It started out, like I said earlier, my buddies, he was a musician, so we started filming, and from there started reaching out to more local filmmaker or local artists and started kind of expanding my network. And yeah, it's currently right now, this company, it relies not solely, but majority on music videos. Yeah. And I also do other stuff on the side. However, that doesn't really fall under that Minty Productions name.
Right.
But yeah, it started throughout COVID, so it was definitely tough because just started getting going and then you get hit with that and kind of have to make it work. But currently it's thriving. It's great.
I think you're the first filmmaker on this series that we've been doing that mostly does music videos. What sets apart music videos from other types of filmmaking?
Yeah, I personally really enjoy it. I've always liked music, so it's kind of been a way for me to just enjoy it even more. Right. So not only that is, there's so many different genres and you can lean in so creatively to it, and there's really infinite possibilities. There's no right way to do anything in the music video world. So you can be thinking you can be listening to the song and all of a sudden an idea pops into your mind and take it and go, and you can make some amazing piece of art with it. So there's no restrictions in it.
Can you tell us about the music video that's playing behind us here?
Yeah, so this one's probably, I'd have to say it's probably one of my favorites just because the way we pulled it together. Right. This was shot out in Toronto. We rented a studio. It's just a blank studio with a white backdrop, a cyclorama wall. And we went into it not really having a direction to go. We knew we had the studio, so we were gonna do something based off that, but we didn't know exactly how we would make it interesting because just a white wall is pretty limiting. So we knew from the start that we wanted to mess around with text animations, but again, you can only do so much with a white wall. So so what we did is we created a color scheme which was red, and the day before we were scrambling around thinking, what can we use that's red just to add some sort of piece of accent into the film. And last minute, literally the day of, as I was walking out the door, I have these, what you can see, those red circles, those polka dots, those are IKEA placemats for tables. And we had a bunch of them laying around the house, and I'm like, we went with red, those are red, let me just throw them in my bag. And I got some fishing line. And when we got there, we taped them to the rafters and have them hanging down on the fishing line. And now it's the main kind of aspect of the video, having these floating polka dots in the sky that he interacts with. And the way it came together was hilarious to me. So it's definitely got to be one of them. It's
definitely just a testament to what thinking outside the box can bring to a film. And I think you pulled it off really well.
Yeah, and I think it's another thing too, is that you don't have to take everything so seriously. Yeah. Especially in music videos, like you can't go wrong. Yeah. And if you're overthinking things, it's pointless. Exactly. Just have fun with it and really enjoy what you're doing.
If there's one thing you could do differently, if you had the chance to do this all over again, what would it be?
I would say I would probably have not waited to the very, very last minute.
Oh, yeah,
Not
Sounds
that it's
about right.
not that it's bad, because it definitely forces you to learn. But I would have had myself some sort of direction. But honestly, to do differently, probably would have just taken the idea that we have right now and just build it off of it. Maybe gotten more of those placemats. Maybe instead of the placemats having real circles and stuff like that, just little accents. But again, I feel like you don't really want to look back at those things because you can always have done something differently.
Yeah.
So it's at that point you're just comparing like different ideas, and it's what's been done is done. And personally, I'm pretty happy with the outcome. So there's no real point in looking back.
There's like a fine line between criticizing yourself and just focusing on the negatives only. You know, you can only learn so much from your mistakes. At that point, you just got to move on and make the next film. Yeah. Speaking of which, in your timeline, was this closer to the beginning of your career, or?
I'd say this is kind of mid. Yeah. This was, I think, going on 2 years ago. Yeah. Just over a year and a half. So this was kind of when I was really focusing on music videos. Yeah. Currently now I'm doing a lot of other things, but music videos at that point was pretty much my only thing, and it was pretty hectic time for me. I was doing one a week at least, so it was go, 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 go. There's always one in the works. There's, if not multiple, and you're editing one while you're already planning for the next one. And it's just kind of a constant stream of in and out of the video space. So that one was probably peak busyness at the time, but again, it's great.
After this one, when you're doing the other music videos that came afterwards, did they just feel easier after you found that groove?
Yeah, I mean, kind of you learn from everything throughout your career. So I think this one I think was the main one where it showed me just to have fun with it and not take everything so seriously. Yeah. Because I definitely up until that point I was hard on myself, thinking why my videos aren't good. Like there needs to be something that makes them professional. Like I need to do something different. And I was focusing way too much on the specific technical aspects and really trying to get the best thing, the best idea, the best visual possible. But that just shows. Now it's probably one of my favorite video, and it was the one that was the least kind of serious at the time. So it just kind of changed my mindset in that sense.
It's good. It's always good to see when a creative can look back at their previous work and actually look on it with pride. Not everyone has that privilege, you know?
Yeah. No, and I mean, I definitely don't for other videos, which I'm sure everyone does. But again, you just can't be too hard on yourself, and you got to just appreciate what you've done. And obviously, it was a time ago, so from then you've learned and you've progressed. So obviously it might not be up to par as what you are currently doing, but it's part of your learning process. So you can't talk too negatively about that.
Exactly. Yeah, let's go in that direction. Actually, what are some of the other projects that you've worked on since then, and what you're working on now?
Yeah. So I've been doing a lot more of different genres lately. I'm still doing music videos. Music videos are still very consistent for me. I always kind of have one going, but shortly after this, I started to enter the wedding scene. I started to do a lot of weddings just throughout the summers and stuff like that. And then from there I did a little bit of documentaries, but now it's more so commercials and music videos. So it's been nice. I've been really, and my goal my goal at the time was definitely to broaden my scope, because I wanted to really just get a sense of all parts of the space, and because I wanted to have dip my foot into everything, so I had a taste of everything, and I knew if I really liked this versus if I really liked that. So I think it's really great to diversify yourself in that aspect. But yeah, I'm currently now you start to figure out what you do and do not like. Yeah. So you get to kind of hone in from there on out.
What was the most surprising thing that you found when you started to branch out?
Yeah, I would say the most surprising thing is there's two. There's one where the most surprising thing, which isn't really surprising, is I wanted to be creative, and that was discovered through weddings. Yeah. Is that the problem that I found with weddings is I just couldn't be as creative as I wanted to, especially coming from music videos.
It's very linear.
Exactly. Especially,
you can't change a wedding.
I mean, not really, no. There's kind of a defined path. Yeah. So, and coming from music videos where it's completely open. Yeah. It was a very big kind of wake-up call, and that kind of that showed me that weddings aren't for me
Mhm.
necessarily. So that was probably the biggest thing. And the other one was editing is a lot more. It can be used as a tool, but it can also hinder your progress in the sense of you can really rely on the edit, or you can plan before the edit and have the edit be easy.
Right.
And there's two different approaches there. And up until that point, I was really heavily reliant on editing. And it kind of showed me from there on out, from seeing all these different aspects, is that the pre-production and just all the aspects that go into before editing can really change how the edit process happens. And that was pretty good for me.
I've heard it said that a lot of people shoot to edits. You know, they shoot with the movie in mind already instead of just getting footage and just trying to fix it in the editing room. So again, there's just so many ways to go about it. That's the kind of the beauty of filmmaking.
Yeah, there's no wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
No way.
So through trying all your these different genres, how would you say you've grown since then as a filmmaker?
Yeah, I would say I would have somewhat matured as a filmmaker as as when I was kind of in that space of music videos only solely back then. I was very edit reliant on the edit. And this, by reaching out, it showed me that pre-production and just on set can really change how the edit goes. So I started to focus a lot more on storyboarding and shot planning and creating pitch decks and mood boards and stuff like that, because that really helped. Not only it was beneficial to landing clients because you can show them exactly what your vision is in mind, and they're not just kind of guessing and hoping that you are going to provide on what you say, but it also helps you because it reminds you of things on set. Because I cannot count how many times where I had an idea in mind, but I didn't write it down, and I go on the set and I'm about to start filming and I just blank because I forgot the one main shot that I needed, or just if I had if I had a vision in mind and I was about to go there and I see it in my mind earlier, but I just can't provide it because I just forget. So I think it's taught me to slow down and really analyze it beforehand and not just kind of like throw yourself into it.
Right. It's good. It's good. What would you say your favorite part about filmmaking is?
I think my favorite part about it is just the freeness that you get, the freedom. You get to do so many creative and different things, and it'll take you in so many places that you wouldn't normally think about going. Like you can, the beauty of it is that you're not locked to like a 9 to 5 in a cubicle.
Right.
You can go wherever you want. You can see whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, pretty much. You will get introduced to so many different aspects of just existence, kind of. It's kind of endless on what the capabilities are and where it can take you. So.
Right. And so I asked you your favorites, and I know a lot of people will say that their favorite aspect is also their greatest strength, but I just want to see if that's different for you. What's your greatest strength in filmmaking, you would say?
I would have to say now, and as a result of this video, is that I am not as serious. I'm pretty laid back on set, and I like to enjoy the process and not think of it as a job. I like to think of it as more of kind of an event and just a kind of a time to enjoy and get creative and have fun with people around you.
You're more laid back about it.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a good way to approach it too, because not only are you kind of more at ease and not stressful on set and stuff like that, but the people around you, they just take it more of kind of an enjoyable experience. And I think the results kind of speak for themselves in that aspect.
Do you think that experience will ever change for you? Do you think you'll still be able to do this job for a long time and still have the same amount of joy from doing it?
I mean, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so. You never really know. I'm sure there could be a situation I find myself in, or if I have a client that is very high priority or something like that, where I could definitely get a lot more kind of nervous and have to be a lot more strict and professional, but you never know, right? And that might not be a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
So I think if I can just take it as it comes and enjoy what I can and take the best moments that I can from it, I think that's a win in my books.
Perfect. And so I know this was shot in Toronto, but you've also done a lot of films in the Waterloo region.
Yeah.
So that kind of brings me to my next question. Why are local film festivals and local cinema. Why are those so important to communities?
Yeah, I think they're just a good spot for local creatives and filmmakers to kind of come together, especially here in KW. I know the main kind of industry is in Toronto and Hamilton and those other bigger cities. So Kitchener finds itself in that weird middle area where it's a lot harder to find local creatives.
Right.
So it's just a great place to meet other like-minded people, to get some good contacts and hopefully develop some nice relationships down the road.
If you had a blank check, what project would you want to produce that would put Waterloo on the spotlight?
That's a good question. In terms of kind of showcasing Waterloo?
Showcasing, you can like make a film in Waterloo. Some people have, when I've asked the same question, they said they would do like another film festival. So just wanted to pick your brain.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've always enjoyed teaching some sort of aspects of film. I know both my parents are teachers, so that might come naturally.
A little bit biased, yeah.
yeah. But I've always enjoyed helping others and kind of helping them throughout their process, especially in filmmaking. So I think something that I could provide would be like, I'd love to start a community of filmmakers, whether it be some sort of little helping, like a school or something, not necessarily a school, but just a place where people can seek advice and get help from people who have a little bit more experience, and just start a little community.
Like a resource, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, a little resource for local filmmakers.
Good answer. And so we talked a little bit about your future as a filmmaker, just a little bit, but what else do you want to accomplish before you retire?
Honestly, in terms of what I'm doing, there's really not much, because if I could do what I'm doing right now for the rest of my life, I would do that.
Yeah.
So in terms of the physical aspect, just keep on doing what I'm doing, really enjoy. I would love to travel more with my filmmaking. I think I've always loved traveling. I've always loved kind of the outdoorsy side of things. So if I had the opportunity, I would love to travel and film out in nature. So that could be something that I'm looking forward to down the line. But if I can just keep enjoying filmmaking.
Are there any specific artists you would want to film a music video with?
I don't know. I would say, can I give you a different answer?
Sure, of course.
I would say yes, but I already got the opportunity. They are my aunt and uncle, actually. They have several bands. One of them was Juno nominated back in the day.
Okay.
And I got having the opportunity to shoot for my aunt and uncle, who were kind of hot shots back in the day. That was a great experience for me. But in terms of current famous people, I don't know. I would rather anyone who would let me be creative.
Yeah, fair enough.
If we can pull together a really good video, I'd be happy. I don't think the artist really impacts that as much to me, as much as just kind of the end product and the visuals that we can produce and the story that comes out of it.
Basically enjoying the process.
Yeah.
You mentioned you did documentary filmmaking, some weddings, music videos. What about short films? Would you want to do those one day, or?
Short films are maybe, but honestly, I don't really see myself going into the film industry as much. I tend to prefer a lot more of the shorter form content, especially I think that's what I get from having done music videos, and the long form content. It's a little overwhelming for me.
Fair enough.
I'll say I do like to be a lot more actively involved, and working on those bigger sets obviously hinder that. So I don't know. I think as of right now, I don't have any kind of plans on going into the short film space or the long form film space. However, things can change, and I'm sure they will. Yeah. So you never know, right?
You never know, exactly. So filmmaking and storytelling in general, why would you say that those are so important culturally to us as a species?
Yeah, well, that's it. It's how people are able to see and hear messages. Right. It's how we can communicate with others, especially where there's a language barrier, for example. You can convey emotions, you can tell stories that might not be heard for whatever reason through the art of filmmaking and storytelling that it's just a great way. It's a great medium to convey messages to people and audiences that may not have previously been able to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And we're at our last question here, Max. What advice would you give to other local filmmakers that are just up and coming?
Just keep filming. Just put yourself out there. You're gonna have to step out of your comfort zone a lot in this industry, especially at first. So if you can just stick with it and really push yourself and stay creative and keep making content, I'm sure you're gonna do great.
Perfect. Thank you so much for making time for the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Caution to the Lord. Yeah. Baby girl, you see me in this. Ooh. Baby girl, you see me in the cut. It's for the love. Hey. Yo, all fingers point to me. Ain't it shredded out here? Once supposed to make it, they ain't expect to see us out here. Oh, they try finesse you out the count here. I can't do no time share. I don't want no clout here. I just wanna make a mark and pull it off in decent time. Girl, I need my peace of mind, and you can't have a piece. The only reason I need the bag is to give it to my mama, to give some to my sister, at least some to my daughter. With Travis on the interstate, demonstrate he make a way. Book collecting stamps, now I'm in and out, you in the way. Got caught up in these thick legs, Achilles how I'm healing. Thistle in my side, making these shortcomings appealing. I'm back from the port, now out to Philly for a wedding. Bougie, my Egyptian cotton bedding. Your flaws and forgetting. I'm loyal to the point of betting. Consistent, I just need to change the setting for my dogs, that's my blood. And I can't give it up. I crush them to the love. It's a luxury to trust. Baby girl, you see me in the cut, and it's vipers in the slums. Yeah, I know it wasn't us. Honestly, crush them to the love. Truly wish that I could trust you. Hey, Junkin told me that he gotta hit the road to get his payment. See it in his face, the type of way to leave you swimming in the pavement. Islands how it came in, lot of snitches, but you will never get a statement from me, officer. You're gonna need the key, officer, and a team, officer, if you want me, officer. Yeah, don't lean on my car. All alone, I had a loan and couldn't pay that thing off. Till my 9 to 5 started paying me from 5 to 9. All the time on the block, I had to park the city fine. Brother 5'9", under no guys, I'm a guy. Hottest water under pressure, my guys are the guys in Italy. From Italy, where I got my first 9. Made me some enemies, my hot head prime. It's true that 2-2s just what put us in the cold. But my 2-2 could really put you in the coma if he catch you on that right spot. Catch you on that nice spot. Creep around my crib and leave you crooked in your high top. A lot of hitters in my space, wouldn't play rough. There's a lot of gangsters in this place, you shouldn't play tough. Fine China amongst these paper plates, magnet in this paper chase. First you see the kingdom, praise the Lord, and then we change the pace. Lambo in this human race, Lamb of God's amazing grace. All by my position and the distance from my starting place. Losing my way is a nightmare coming true. I got me a new bag and I will not fumble. You got a baddie in a prenup, now I ain't so gullible. Still don't have a baby mama or a BMW, but I take my W's when I don't stoop under you. My ex, a duvet the way she covered dude. Each one of me's a couple you, troubles me to double you. When I get alone, I meditate and then I troubleshoot. I'm comfortably uncomfortable, and I don't juggle truth. A lot of realists tell me they don't with you. Down. Baby, that's tragic. How does that happen? How your own city don't love you? It's probably cause the prophet ain't respected in his own town. But the prophets like the markets, all in how it goes down. Barefooted when I'm stepping, I got all these toes down. Sevens tatted on my crown, that's my blood. Hey, and I won't give it up. Accustomed to the love. It's a luxury to trust. Baby girl, you see me in the cut, and it's vipers in the slums. Yeah, I know it wasn't us. Honestly, accustomed to the love. Truly wish that I could trust you. Hey,